So we're in Croatia, as you can see. It's different because we have freaking water behind us and stuff like that. I'm actually really amped and pumped because I was actually reviewing the footage, the vlog, with this little microphone that you can hear me tapping on. Those vlogs actually turned out to be very, very interesting, very cool. So I'm inspired by my own content, but I decided not to vlog yesterday because it was a travel day. I just wanted to relax, and I went out and actually shot and actually practiced my photography and stuff. So right now we are on our way to find a beach. Where we just were, I thought it was a beach, but it wasn't. So we're still gonna be walking around and trying to check things out. We're gonna be shooting for Leah and Bree, which are behind me right now. So yes, I'm excited. I'm all kind of cluster-brained. Everything's good. Over time, I should get a lot better at talking on the camera. It's just, I have to get used to it. But by doing it every day, it's gonna be a lot better. It's the next morning. I'm kind of tired, but we're out here shooting photos. We're still at the same beach that we were before, but we were just kind of walking around doing some simple shots and stuff. But I wanted to explain kind of why we are in Croatia and why we're going to Greece. So my mom invited my sister and I and Leah to Croatia with her. She already had a trip planned for 2 weeks. So she's our sponsor for Croatia and Dubrovnik and all of that. So thank you, mommy. And then Greece, Leah, for graduation, she just graduated college. She wanted to go to Greece. So we're going to Greece with her mom. And so thank you, Leah's mom, for sponsoring that trip. But then after that, when we go to Bangkok and Southeast Asia, that's coming out of our pocket, out of our expenses and all of that. So that's kind of the reason why we kicked it off here. It just kind of worked out that way. So yeah, we thought it would be nice to kind of start off in a better situation that we would have been if we would have just go straight into Southeast Asia, because we're gonna be struggling when we get to Southeast Asia, because we're getting the cheapest Airbnbs, the cheapest everything and all of that, so yes. So today's the actual last day that we'll be in Dubrovnik. After that, we get on a boat and we go sail the Croatian islands for a whole week. And so everybody on this boat, I think there's about 40 people, is a part of the same party. I don't know everybody, but everybody knows at least somebody within, so it's all friends of friends and all of that, friends and family. So it'd be nice to have our own kind of private yacht, I guess, and just sail around and do what we want. So that'd be pretty cool to see.
I can't get this in focus.
So Leah actually has the Canon T6i with the kit lens, so it's a beginner camera with the beginner lens. She also has a 50mm prime. I'm thinking of doing some tutorials on how to take travel photos with, you know, like a beginner camera like that, because a lot of people do have a camera like this and not necessarily a camera like mine. So, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, it's the camera you have and blah, blah, blah. I'm also thinking of doing tutorials on how to take travel photos with the iPhone and how to get good quality photos and video. Actually, I'll do video too with the iPhone, just to show people that it's not the camera, it's actually lighting. Lighting plays a huge role in what your photos look like and composition and all that stuff. The camera is like last out of everything. Actually, it is last out of everything. So stay tuned for that. So Leah's camera was actually focusing properly. The issue was she was focusing just on the water. So what cameras have issues with is non-contrast. So it doesn't really know what it's trying to focus on when it just sees straight blue water. There might be some ripples, but since there's not a lot of contrast, it's like, I'm not sure what to focus on. So that was the issue. So if anybody has an issue like that and why it's not focusing, it could be because there isn't enough contrast. I would go and test it on something that is like similar to behind me. So, you know, there's high contrast, you can focus on different things, zoom in, zoom out, that kind of stuff, instead of just straight up focusing on the water, just to see if it is the camera or if it is something else.
All right, you ready?
I kind of had this idea a little bit ago too, was to teach Leah photography, but also record it and film it, because she doesn't know manual settings and all of that. So we tried to do it, but it was so hard for me to kind of explain, and I didn't have it laid out like a course. It just didn't work out that way. So I'm still trying to figure out if there's a way where I can film her process of, you know, becoming a photographer and still have it be educational and stuff. So the best way in my mind is have both of us mic'd up, have a camera rolling on us, following us around, and just when we're talking and just be able to cut snippets like that. But that's not gonna work with our setup that we have here. So if there's another idea that you guys can figure out on how to do it instead of like sitting down, let us know. Let me know, because I would love to do it. I don't really like to do a lot of sit down stuff because it's just, you gotta be out in the field. You gotta actually be out there shooting. And so, yeah, hopefully we can figure out a solution and teach all the new people here on how to, you know, set your camera up and get the best shots and all that kind of stuff with the help of Leah learning alongside with us. What are your settings?
I'm shooting in manual right now. F4, 1 out of 4,000. Shutter speed, ISO of 100. Auto white balance, and raw.
Why are you shooting at f4?
Because that's as low as it goes right now.
Why do you want to shoot really low?
Because I like a blurry background.
What are you focusing on?
The rocks. The beach. I don't know. Man, I don't know, guys.
She first started off shooting portraits. So, you know, she's using the 50mm with a 1.8, and, you know, you get the blurry background like that. But with landscape photos, you don't necessarily need to shoot that low. You can shoot high, like at a f8, because you would want everything to be in focus unless there's something specific you're trying to single out to be in focus and everything kind of be blurry. But it's hard to do landscapes just because of, one, the aperture. It's hard to do landscapes because if you're trying to capture a whole kind of scene, you kind of want everything to be in focus. So there are some times where you want to shoot lower, just for instance if you're shooting in low light, but for landscape wise you typically want to be pretty high. Not that high. People shoot between 4 to 8. It just depends on your personal preference. So a lot of it is trial and error. You kind of shoot and just figure out what you like the best, and there is no one solution or one setting for it all. You have to know what you're doing and what you're looking for, and then shoot it and set your settings up for how you want to shoot it.
I hate landscape photography.
Why do you hate it?
I don't know, it's just like not moving. It's just there, and it's like sometimes I can't get the shot.
It's
that
hard,
I want.
isn't it?
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, it's not moving. So you can definitely just get the shot that you want, but I'm taking the picture and I'm like, this is not turning out how I envisioned it.
I feel the exact same way with landscape photography. What I've noticed is, I always thought it's like, yeah, it's still, anybody can take the picture, but a lot of it has to do with timing. So, you know, you have a boat, a sailboat come by, you want the boat to be in a specific part. It's all about composition. So if there's any moving elements within your photo, it's all about timing with that, because you have no control in that in landscape photography. Another timing thing is light. So you want to shoot at the optimal light. Maybe the sun's too high and you missed it, or the sun's too low and you missed it, or if it's at the right spot but you're not in the right position. So there's a lot of elements that you need to kind of think, and it's hard to just go and just think that you can take an amazing photo just because of what you see on Instagram. It's challenging for me. I don't shoot a lot of landscapes. Like I've said before, I don't shoot a lot of street photography, but I'm learning. I'm trying to shoot every day just to practice my skill, and every day I kind of go through the photos and I'm learning from it. For me, a lot of it is with composition. I've noticed with the wide angle is I shoot kind of more straight out with the wide angle when I should be turning it down and looking down to see more of the ground. That's what I like personally. Or if I'm low to the ground, then I can shoot a little bit more up. But that's one little thing that I've learned throughout my past couple days trying to shoot landscapes. I'm sitting here yelling at the camera.